Live with Mobile? Yes, we are live. Welcome to a special edition of my weekly sports podcast. And right now, we are having great sadness just because the NFL is done for the season, and that is a big bummer. Oh man, that's a real bummer. I'm going to start off with the Super Bowl preview. I'm going to preview my matchups for next year and what every team needs for. But right now, it wasn't a high scoring affair. It was only 16 total points. Patriots won 13-3. It was a bummer game. It was scoreless in the first. There were two key plays for the Patriots in the first quarter that caught me off guard. Brady throwing a pick on the first drive. I thought the Rams would get him this time. Patriots would have trouble. Brady didn't throw a pick the rest of the game. Then Gostkowski missed a field goal. It could have been 3-0 early for the Patriots, but they couldn't do anything with it. Instead, they kicked the field goal for the half. It was 3-0. New England won the sixth Super Bowl. The third quarter, the Rams Derwan they tied it. It was 3-3. Then the fourth quarter, the Rams had so many opportunities. The Patriots D actually did well. So did the Rams defense. But the Patriots had a long game-winning touchdown drive. Is what I like to call it. They go all the way down the field. Gronk had a big catch. Julian Edelman kept catching the ball all day. They couldn't stop the Patriots on third down near their own territory. The Rams couldn't, and Patriots kept getting down the field. But then they finally did. Edelman had catches. Rob Gronkowski had a big catch that wound up being at the 2. Then Sonny Michel ran one in for a touchdown. It was 10-3. The Rams had two shots, maybe to tie it or get it in the game late. Jared Goff, they went all the way down there, threw an interception that cost them the game, in my opinion. Patriots went all the way down the field, kicked the field goal, it was 13-3. The Rams got down there real quick. In the fourth quarter, they could tie. They could go for a field goal, try an onside kick. It'd be 13-6, but Zerwan missed the field goal, and the Patriots wound up winning 13-3. Both were two seeds going into the game. They were 11-5. The Patriots and the Rams were 13-3. Patriots win the Super Bowl 13-3. I thought it'd be a shootout, but congrats to the Patriots once again for winning the Super Bowl and appearing in it. And that's a huge, huge disappointment. Zach Taylor, the quarterback's coach for the Rams, wound up going to the Cincinnati Bengals the next day to be their next head coach. And Brian Flores, the linebacker assistant coach for the Patriots, wound up being the new Miami Dolphins head coach. So here's some stats. Start with the Patriots. Brady was 21-35, 262 yards, touchdown, interception. He got sacked once. That was for the Patriots. The running game for the Patriots, Sonny Michel, he's a big factor. Remember, they have Jeremy Hill, too. They have Burkhead, James White, Sonny Michel, Jeremy Hill. Jeremy Hill was out for the season. They'd be a big factor. The Patriots running game's going to be good for years. Michel's great. He had 18 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. Rex Burkhead had 7 carries for 43 yards. Julian Edelman had 1 rush for 8 yards. Cordell Patterson had 2 rushes for 7. James White had 2 rushes for 4 yards. Tom Brady had 2 rushes for -2 yards. I thought they had the best running game. I thought the Rams running game would be really good too. But Todd Gurley only had 10 carries, 35 yards. Oh, whoops, Daisy. That's a commercial. I'll mute that. C.J. Anderson had 7 rushes for 22 yards. Robert Woods had 1 rush for 5 yards. Patriots had 154 total yards rushing. And the Rams had only 62. Jared Goff didn't have the best game for the Rams. He was 19-38, 229 yards, 0 touchdowns, and that late interception at the end of the game with 1 pick. He got sacked 4 times for a loss of 31. That doesn't help you if you're the Rams. And that was for the quarterback game. The wide receiver play for the Patriots. Julian Edelman wound up being Super Bowl MVP. He had 10 receptions for 141 yards. Rob Gronkowski had 6 receptions for 87 yards. Rex Burkhead had 2 receptions for 15. Cordell Patterson had 2 carries or 2 receptions for 14 yards. James White only had 1 reception for 5, and Patriots had 262 yards and off 21 receptions, off 29 targets for Tom Brady. The Rams receiving yards, Brandon Cooks had 8 receptions for 120 yards. He had a good game. Robert Woods had 5 receptions, 1 yard. See, that's not good. Fumbles, Tom Brady lost a fumble, and the Rams had a fumble for C.J. Anderson. The key here, the Rams, I think Cooper Kupp was a big loss for the Rams. I think they could have needed him badly in the Super Bowl. And Todd Gurley should have more production instead of him sharing with C.J. Anderson a lot. I know Sean McVay was trying to, but he could not do it. The defense for the Patriots, Jonathan Jones had a sack. So did Kyle Van Noy for the Patriots. Big day for Dante Hightower. He had two sacks or so for the Patriots. So that was key. The Rams sacks. There was one sack by John Franklin Myers, but that was it. 50 tackles for the Patriots, 70 for the Rams. That's a lot. Stephon Gilmore had an interception. Corey Littleton had an interception for the Rams. Cordell Patterson had one kick return, 38 yards. JoJo Natson had one for 27. I think there were only a few kickoffs, like three the whole game. Gostkowski was 2 of 3 for the field goal kicker, and Terry Zerline was 1 of 2. Ryan Allen, the punter for Patriots, was an MVP, punted 5 times. Johnny Hecker for the Rams punted 9 times, which was a huge disappointment, I thought, for the Patriots. So we're going to go over every team's needs for right now, but congrats to the Patriots on their sixth Super Bowl with Brady, second in the last 3 years in their third straight appearance. I want to go over what every team needs for right now, or what they have to do. The big storylines going into the last season. Oh, Antonio Brown had a domestic dispute incident, which is disappointing. Greg Schiano is going to join the Patriots staff. Um, the Patriots, even though every team always needs a need before they do it, even though they won the Super Bowl, what are they going to do at tight end? Rob Gronkowski's retired. They got a good tight end, solid, in Dwayne Allen. But the Patriots, they have tight end play if Rob Gronkowski retires. That's the big storyline for the year. The Dolphins, they got a new head coach, Brian Flores. Their storyline is, are they going to be in big rebuild mode? What kind of quarterback are they going to take? Are they going to keep Ryan Tannehill? Are they going to go get another quarterback in free agency? Miami might be a big disappointment next year, a rebuild year. The Bills, their storyline is LaShawn McCoy going to be healthy? Are they going to get another receiver after trading Kelvin Benjamin? And how's Josh Allen going to do in his second year? Those are storylines for that team. The Jets, what are they going to do with their new coach, Adam Gase? How's Sam Darnold going to progress in the second year? And then are they going to go after Le'Veon Bell, one of those many teams for the New York Jets? The Baltimore Ravens, the big storyline there is, what are they going to do at quarterback? Are they going to stick with Lamar Jackson? Are they going to trade away Joe Flacco? That's what the Ravens' big storyline is. The Steelers, what are they going to do with Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell? How's Big Ben going to progress? Are they going to slow down? Are they going to get a receiver like Marquise Goodwin? Are they going to trade with the Niners? The Browns, how's Freddie Kitchens going to do with Baker Mayfield in the second year? How are all those weapons going to progress for Cleveland? That's the big storyline there. The Bengals, is Andy Dalton and AJ Green going to be healthy one more year? Is this Andy Dalton's last chance for the Bengals? For Zach Taylor, and how's he going to do in his coaching job? The Texans, their storyline is this: can Deshaun Watson progress in his third year? What are they going to do with Demaryius Thomas if Will Fuller comes back? That's what Houston's going to do. And then are they going to or are they going to let Jadeveon Clowney walk? The Colts, are they going to go after Le'Veon Bell? How's Luck going to progress in his second year back, full year back? And are they going to get a number 2 receiver? That's Indianapolis' big storylines. The Titans, how is this Mariota's last year make or break? Will Derrick Henry have the big progression that'll have Tennessee step up from mediocrity? The Jaguars, what are they going to do with Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette? That's what I'm interested in. This is Doug Marone's final year if he doesn't do well for the Jaguars. Those are the big stories here. The Chiefs, will Mahomes have another big year? Will he be a disappointment? That's what I'm curious of for the Kansas City Chiefs. What are they going to do at running back for their? The Chargers, is this going to be Philip Rivers' final year, final opportunity, final go round? We'll see. That's what the Chargers need. The Broncos, let's see, Hunter Henry comes back too. The Broncos, what are they going to do at quarterback? Are they going to keep Keenum? Are they going to try to get a rookie quarterback like Kyler Murray? And that's my storyline for Denver. The Oakland Raiders, where are they going to play? It's not official. I hear San Francisco. Is this Derek Carr's last year make or break for John Gruden? Are they going to get quarterback after this year? Is this Marshawn Lynch's final year for the Raiders? What are they going to do next year? Where are they going to play? For the NFC, the Cowboys or so, let's see here. Are they going to get another receiver for Amari Cooper to help out? Is this Jason Garrett's final year if they don't do well? Those are big storylines there. The Eagles, are they going to trade away Nick Foles, keep Carson Wentz? What are they going to do with the quarterback situation? The Redskins, that's their big storyline. This could be Jake Gruden's final year. Are they going to get a free agency quarterback, or are they going to wait for the draft? Because Alex Smith is out probably for a whole next year. The Giants storylines, is this Eli Manning's final year? Are they going to get the heir for Eli Manning like Dwayne Haskins or so? And what are they going to do? there. The Bears, are they going to get a kicker to help them out in their big games? Because Barkley wasn't very good. And can their defense sustain drives and be good like they were last year? The Vikings, is Kirk Cousins going to make or going to help them make the playoffs? They need it. I think the Vikings are a big team. If they don't, I think it's going to be a make or break year for Mike Zimmer. The Packers, I love Matt LaFleur. I think it's a great hire. How are him and Aaron Rodgers going to work well together? Will they cut Jimmy Graham? Will they get another running back in the draft? The Lions, there's a lot of needs there too. Is this Matt Stafford's make or break year? Are they going to finally choose a running back? Are they going to get another number two receiver? And can they get a defense? The Saints, can they overcome the penalty from last year? Will this be Drew Brees' final year if they get to the Super Bowl? That's a big question. The Falcons, and what are they going to do with Teddy Bridgewater? The Falcons, can they fix their defensive problems, and can they get their running back Freeman, who's out half the year? The Panthers' big storyline is Cam Newton going to be healthy for training camp? He just had arthroscopic surgery like Andrew Luck did. That he could maybe be out if there's a setback for Carolina. I'm watching that story. The Buccaneers, Bruce Arians, I can't wait to see what he does with Jameis Winston. Are they going to get another running back in the draft? And will they let Deshaun Jackson walk? The Rams, what are they going to do after the big Super Bowl loss? Is Gurley going to be more productive? Are they going to keep C.J. Anderson? How's Cooper Kupp going to be back in the mix? Those are big storylines there. The Seahawks with Russell Wilson going into his final year deal. Let's see what they do for that. That's my question there. 49ers, what are they going to do with Jimmy Garoppolo and Matt Breida? Jimmy Garoppolo and Jerick McKinnon coming back. Are they going to get Antonio Brown in free agency? And the Cardinals, what are they going to do with the number one overall pick? With Cliff Kingsbury. I can't wait to see what he does with that offense. Is this Larry Fitzgerald's final year? Those are big storylines. We'll go over the big matchups next week for the NFL is what I was looking at. But congrats to the Patriots on winning 13-3. That's another Super Bowl ring. The NCAA men's basketball games tonight. Let's see, though. NC State only scoring 24 points. That's not good. Tennessee's going to be number one, I think, for a third straight week. Tonight's games, I'm looking here. Let me see the schedule. Big ones tonight. UConn at Temple at 6 on CBS Sports Network. 24th ranked Maryland's at Nebraska and ranked at 7 on Big Ten Network. Texas A&M's at Ole Miss at 7 on SEC Network. Maine's at Vermont at 7. Clemson's at Georgia Tech at 7 on ACC Network. Wichita State's at East Carolina on 7 on ESPN News. Let's see here. Notre Dame's at Miami at 7 on ESPN2. Americans at Navy at 7. Rhode Island's at Davidson at 7 on ESPNU. Georgetown's at Providence at 7:30 on FS1. Creighton's at 14th ranked Villanova at 8 on CBS Sports Network. Baylor's at Texas on 8 on Longhorn Network. Let's see here. Wisconsin's 19th ranked at Minnesota on 9 o'clock on Big Ten Network. 21st ranked LSU's at Mississippi State at 9 on ESPN2. Georgia's at Alabama at 9 on SEC Network. Oklahoma State's at TCU at 9 on ESPNU. Colorado's at UCLA at 9. California's at Oregon at 9:30 on FS1. 6th ranked Nevada's at Colorado State at 10 on CBS Sports Network. UNLV's at Boise State at 11 on ESPNU. And Utah's at USC at 11 on Pac-12 Network. Let's see, I'm trying to remember the last time I did it. I think I did it last Wednesday. We'll go over the matchups from last Wednesday. Yep, I did. I remember that. 10th ranked Marquette was at Butler. They beat Butler 76-58. 12th ranked Virginia Tech was at Miami. Virginia Tech won 82-70. 14th ranked Villanova was at DePaul. Villanova won 86-74. 15th ranked Louisville was at Wake Forest. They won 82-54. 19th ranked LSU was at Texas A&M. LSU won 72-57. 20th ranked Iowa State beat West Virginia 93-68. Florida beat Ole Miss 90-86. That was in Florida. Let's see here. Rhode Island lost to DeQuincy at DeQuincy 75-72. Navy was at Bucknell. Bucknell won 69-57. IU was at Rutgers. Rutgers won 66-58. Providence was at Seton Hall. Seton Hall won 65-63. Let's see here. You have Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee won 71-65. Syracuse beat Boston College 77-71. Excuse me. Memphis lost to Tulane at Tulsa, my bad, 95-79. Auburn is now unranked. They beat Missouri 92-58 at Auburn. Air Force lost to San Diego State 66-51. And Washington beat USC 75-62. That was last Wednesday. Last Thursday, the 31st, not a lot of ranked teams played. 4th ranked Gonzaga beat BYU 92-63 at BYU. 13th ranked Houston hosted Temple. Houston won 73-66. 17th ranked Purdue beat Penn State 99-90 in overtime. Rice beat Charlotte 65-61. Let's see here. Florida Atlantic beat Louisiana Tech 69-61. Like I said, not a lot of big ones last week. Georgetown beat Xavier at Georgetown 80-73. Colorado hosted Oregon State. Oregon State won 76-74. Arizona State beat Arizona at Arizona State 95-88 in overtime. Oregon beat Utah 78-72 at Utah. Let's see here. Western Kent State got postponed to next Thursday. I was going to go to that. Or next week to Thursday. Friday the 1st, Iowa hosted 5th ranked Michigan. Iowa dominated 74-59. Bowling Green hosted 18th ranked Buffalo. Buffalo got upset 92-88 at Bowling Green. 21st ranked Maryland against 24th ranked Wisconsin. Wisconsin beat Maryland 69-61. Not a lot of good Friday matchups. Saturday the 2nd, I was at a Western Central. First big game outside of Western this year. First ranked Tennessee went to Texas A&M unranked, and Tennessee won 93-76. Second ranked Duke hosted St. John's. Duke won 91-61. Third ranked Virginia hosted Miami. Virginia won 56-46. Fourth ranked Gonzaga hosted San Diego. Gonzaga won 85-69. Sixth ranked Michigan State hosted IU. IU won in overtime 79-75 at the Breslin. Seventh ranked Kentucky went to unranked Florida. Kentucky won 65-54. Nevada was eighth ranked. They beat Boise State 93-73. Ninth ranked North Carolina was at 15th ranked Louisville. North Carolina won 79-69. 11th ranked Kansas hosted 16th ranked Texas Tech. Kansas won 79-63. 12th ranked Virginia Tech played at 23rd at NC State, won 47-24. 19th ranked LSU hosted Arkansas. Arkansas won by 90-89. Texas played at Iowa State. 20th ranked Iowa State. Iowa State won 65-60. 22nd ranked Mississippi State played at Ole Miss. Mississippi State won 81-75. And 25th ranked Florida State beat Georgia Tech at Florida State 59-49. South Florida beat Memphis at South Florida 84-78. Kent State beat Ball State 83-80 in overtime at Ball State. Butler beat Seton Hall 70-68 at Butler. Miami of Ohio beat Eastern Michigan 59-48 at Miami, Ohio. Ohio State beat Rutgers at Ohio State 76-62. West Virginia beat Oklahoma 79-71 at West Virginia. Lehigh beat Army 75-70 at Army. South Carolina and Georgia. South Carolina won 86-80 at Georgia. Let's see here. Notre Dame played at Boston College. Notre Dame won 79-73 at Boston College. Dayton beat DeQuincy 68-64 at Dayton. Wichita State beat Tulsa 79-68 at Wichita State. Navy beat Loyola Marymount 71-68 at Navy. Illinois beat Nebraska. They were on a roll lately. They beat Nebraska 71-64. Toledo at Northern Illinois. Toledo won 69-55. Let's see. Ohio beat Akron 65-53. That was at Ohio. Colorado State Air Force. Colorado State won 85-53 at Air Force. UCLA Washington. Washington beat UCLA 69-55 at Washington. Other big games. Let's see here. Utah and Oregon State. This is at Utah. Oregon State won 81-72. Vermont UMass Lowell. UMass Lowell lost to Vermont 74-65. Temple at Tulane. Temple beat Tulane 75-67. Syracuse at Pittsburgh. Syracuse won 65-56. Let's see. USC and Washington State. At Washington State, USC won 93-84. Baylor hosting TCU. Baylor won 90-64. Cincinnati beat SMU 73-68. Cincinnati. Auburn beat Alabama 84-63 at Auburn. Missouri beat Vanderbilt 77-67. BYU beat Loyola Marymount 67-49. Oregon lost at Colorado 73-51. Let's see here. That was about it for the big ones for Saturday. Sunday the 3rd, that was Super Bowl Sunday. Not a lot of basketball games then. A few ranked teams played. 14th ranked Villanova beat Georgetown at Villanova 77-65. 17th ranked Purdue beat Minnesota 73-63. Clemson beat Wake Forest 64-37 at Clemson. Xavier and Creighton. Creighton beat Xavier 76-54. Stanford beat California 84-81. UConn beat East Carolina 76-52 at UConn. Monday, the forced matchup. 16th ranked Louisville played at 11th ranked Virginia Tech. Louisville won 72-64. 17th ranked Iowa State was at Oklahoma. Iowa State won 75-74. 18th ranked Texas Tech played West Virginia at Texas Tech 81-50. Texas Tech. Penn State beat Northwestern 59-52 at Northwestern. Those were all the big ones on Monday. Tuesday the 5th, which was last night. First ranked Tennessee beat Missouri at Tennessee 72-60. Second ranked Duke beat Boston College 8-55 at Duke. Fifth ranked Kentucky beat South Carolina 76-48. Seventh ranked Michigan beat Rutgers at Rutgers 77-65. Eighth ranked North Carolina beat NC State at North Carolina 113-96. Ninth ranked MSU went to Illinois, and Illinois shocked them 79 at 74. Another upset. St. John's beat 10th ranked Marquette 70-69 at Marquette. Another upset too. 13th ranked Kansas is slipping. Kansas State beat them 74-67. 22nd ranked Florida State beat Syracuse 80-62. Loyola Chicago beat Drake at Loyola Chicago 86-74. I was at this one a little bit last night. Bowling Green was at Western. Bowling Green won 85-72. Pittsburgh and Wake Forest. Wake Forest won 78-76 in overtime. Kent State beat Miami of Ohio 70-67 at Kent State. Toledo and Akron. It was at Toledo. Toledo won 63-52. Ball State, Northern Illinois. Ball State beat Northern Illinois 72-71. Arkansas beat Vanderbilt 69-66. Dayton played at St. Louis. St. Louis won 73-70. Auburn hosted Florida. Auburn won 76-62. And Fresno State hosted Utah State. They lost 82-81. Wednesday the 6th, I already going over those. Thursday, February 7th, the matchups. 12th ranked Houston's at UCF at 7 on the CBS Sports Network. Finally, Cincinnati's ranked. They're 25th ranked at Memphis at 7 on ESPN2. Let's see here. ESPN News got Radford at Hampton at 7. Penn State's at Ohio State at 7 on ESPN. Not a lot of ranked matchups playing. Washington State's at Arizona State at 8 on Pac-12 Network. 20th ranked Iowa's at Indiana at 9 on ESPN. South Florida's at SMU at 9 on ESPNU. Stanford's Oregon State at 10 on Pac-12 Network. And BYU's at Portland at 11 on ESPN2. And Pacific's at St. Mary's at 11 on ESPNU. On Friday at 8 o'clock, let's see here. Princeton's at Yale at 7. There's not a lot of good ones at all on Friday. Columbia's at Harvard at 7. St. Louis is at St. Joseph on ESPN2. No Big Ten matchups. Oh, there's one. Kent State's at Akron at 9 on ESPNU. A boring Friday night, for my opinion. Saturday's matchups, a good one Saturday at noon. 19th ranked Wisconsin, 7th ranked Michigan at noon on Fox. A rematch of when Wisconsin beat Michigan. Miami's at 8th ranked North Carolina at 12 on ACC Network. 11th ranked Virginia Tech's at Clemson on ESPN2. Oklahoma State's at 13th ranked Kansas at noon on ESPN. Providence at St. John's at noon on CBS Sports Network. Bowlers at Georgetown at noon. 5th ranked Kentucky's at Mississippi State at 1 on CBS Sports Network, or CBS. Temple's at Tulsa at noon on ESPNU. Let's see here. Ole Miss at Georgia at 1 on SEC Network. Minnesota's at 9th ranked Michigan State at 2 on ESPN. TCU's at 17th ranked Iowa State at 2 on ESPNU. Auburn's at 21st ranked LSU on ESPN2. Northern Illinois at Eastern Michigan at 2 on ESPN Plus. Boston College at Syracuse on ACC Network. Ohio's at Miami, Ohio at 2 on ESPN Plus. Western Michigan at Ball State at 2 on ESPN Plus. 14th ranked, actually NC State's at Pittsburgh at 2 on ACC Network. Villanova's 14th ranked at 10th ranked Marquette 2:30 on Fox. Big win for the Big East. Central's at 23rd ranked Buffalo at 3:30 on ESPN Plus. Florida's at 1st ranked Tennessee at 4 on ESPN's SEC Network. Has Arkansas at South Carolina at 3:30 on SEC Network. 16th ranked Louisville's at 25th ranked Florida State at 4 on ESPN2. 18th ranked Texas Tech at Oklahoma at 4 on ESPNU. Rutgers at Illinois at 4 on Big Ten Network. Dayton's at Rhode Island at 4 on CBS Sports Network. Other ranked matchups, TV time matchups. Looking here. At Fox at 5, Utah's at UCLA. 5:30, California's Oregon State on Pac-12 Network. 2nd ranked Duke is at 3rd ranked Virginia at 6 at ESPN. It's another rematch for a matchup 3 weeks ago where Duke beat Virginia. Texas A&M's at Missouri at 6 on SEC Network. Kansas State's at Baylor at 6 on ESPN2. 7 o'clock matchups. 7:30 actually. Washington State's at Arizona at 7:30 on Pac-12 Network. DePaul's at Xavier at 8 on FS1. Texas at West Virginia at 8 on ESPN2. Tulane's at Wichita State on ESPNU at 8. Nebraska's at 50 ranked Purdue at 8:30 on Big Ten Network. Pacific's at BYU at 9. ESPN2's got St. Mary's at 4th ranked Gonzaga at 10 on ESPN2. Colorado's at USC at 10 on ESPNU. Washington's at Arizona State at 10 on ESPN. And UC Davis at UC Santa Barbara at 11:59 on ESPNU. Sunday the 10th, February 10th. Not a lot of ranked ones, like I said. I'm surprised. Not a lot of ranked teams playing. 25th ranked Cincinnati's at 12th ranked Houston at 4 on ESPN. Georgia Tech's at Notre Dame at 6 on ESPNU. Northwestern's at 20th ranked Iowa at 6:30. Stanford's at Oregon at 8 on ESPN2. Ohio State's at Indiana at 1 p.m. And Holy Cross at Lafayette at noon on CBS Sports, CBS respectively. UConn's at Memphis at 2 on CBS Sports Network, and UCF's at SMU at 2 on ESPN News. Not a lot of good ones. Monday the 11th, I'm going to do my podcast on the 11th, because I'm going to go to Kalamazoo for 3 days in a row, so we'll preview the matchups Next time I'll have a podcast on. I know it's been off days. I've been going to a lot of ball games or trying to. I've been busy with my time. Bracketology that ESPN predicted for this week for the East region in DC. First ranked Duke would play 16th ranked Bucknell if the tournament started today. 8th ranked Baylor would play 9th ranked Ohio State if it started today. 5th ranked LSU would play 12th ranked Davidson. 4th ranked Villanova would play 13th ranked South Dakota State. 6th Buffalo would play 11th ranked Lipscomb. 3rd Purdue would play 14th ranked Georgia State. 7th ranked Florida State would play 10th ranked Texas. 2nd Kentucky would play 15th ranked Princeton. So the predictions here, I think Duke would play Ohio State. Davidson would play Villanova. Buffalo would play Purdue. Florida State would play Kentucky. For the Sweet 16, I think it'd be Duke and Villanova. Purdue and Kentucky. I think Kentucky would play Duke in the Elite Eight, and Duke would be in the Final Four in that case for the East. The West, the Anaheim region. First ranked Gonzaga would play the winner 16th ranked Prairie View A&M and Sam Houston State. 8th ranked Washington would play 9th ranked NC State. 5th ranked Texas Tech would play the winner of 12th ranked Florida and VCU. 4th ranked Nevada would play 13th ranked Old Dominion. 6th ranked Maryland would play the winner of Alabama and St. John's, the 11th seed. 3rd ranked Louisville would play 14th ranked Northern Kentucky. 7th ranked Auburn would play 10th ranked Oklahoma. And 2nd ranked Michigan State would play 15th for Loyola Chicago. I think it'd be Gonzaga and Washington. Then I think it'd be VCU and Nevada. Then I think it would be St. John's and Louisville. Then I think it would be Auburn and Loyola Chicago. Not Michigan State. They've been playing awful based on these matchups. I think it'd be Gonzaga and VCU in the Elite Eight. Then I think it would be Louisville and Loyola Chicago. I think they could get there again. I think it'd be Louisville and Gonzaga. And then I think Louisville would be in the Final Four in that case. Yeah, I think Louisville is that dangerous of a team. I think it could be Duke, Louisville in one semifinal matchups if it started today. The South region predictions in Louisville. Ironically, Louisville's in the Elite Eight spot. Virginia would play Minnesota. Iowa State would play Houston. Iowa would play Marquette. I think Kansas State would play Michigan. Then I think it'd be Michigan and Iowa in the Elite Sweet 16. Then I think it would be Iowa State and Virginia. I think it wound up being between Iowa and Virginia for the Elite Eight. Then I think Virginia would get there. In the Midwest and Kansas City, it'd be the winner between Tennessee, Norfolk State, and Robert Morris. Syracuse would be the 8th seed playing 9th ranked TCU. 5th ranked Wisconsin played 12th ranked Hofstra. 4th ranked Virginia Tech played 13th ranked Vermont. 6th ranked Mississippi State played 11th ranked Indiana. 3rd ranked Kansas played 14th ranked Bowling Green. 7th ranked Cincinnati played 10th ranked Arizona State. 2nd ranked North Carolina played 15th ranked Radford. I think it'd be Tennessee and Syracuse. Then it'd be Wisconsin and Vermont. Then it'd be Mississippi State and Kansas. Then I think it'd be Arizona State and North Carolina. My Sweet 16, I think it'd be Syracuse and Wisconsin. Then I think it would be, Kansas and North Carolina. Then I think it'd be North Carolina and, Wisconsin. Then I think it'd be North Carolina. One semifinal matchup, Virginia, North Carolina. I think it'd be 4 ACC teams. That'd be wild. Duke, Louisville, and North Carolina, Virginia in that matchup. So then I think it would be Virginia and Duke, and then I think Virginia would beat Duke. I think 4 ACC teams in the Final Four would be really wild. Everybody would hate it, but that would prove that the ACC is the best conference in basketball, in my opinion, technically. Any MLB deals I'm looking here? Curtis Granderson signed a deal with the Miami Marlins, a minor league deal. Roxburgh reached a deal with the Royals. Let's see here. Not a lot of signs that would happen. Let's see. Marlon Gonzalez still on the free agency market along with Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, and Dallas Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel. Those are the big signs for right now. Let's see here. I'm looking at the schedule here. The first matchups start for spring training February 21st between Seattle and Oakland. That's when the first catchers pitched. That's on the 21st. I'm looking for when the MLB plays or so. Let's see here. 26. Wait, do they start really early? I think it starts in March. First matchups. Oh, wait, it's still spring training. I'm looking here. Spring training. I think they start on the, is it the 29th? Is it 30th? Yeah, we'll find out. I think for the actual spring training games. Let's see here. We're going to find the NBA standings for this week. Yeah, we'll just go over that. I'll get a magazine we'll preview more of the MLB deals all next week and all the NASCAR stuff coming up next week and any big deals. But anyways, The Bucks are leading at 39-13 for the Eastern Conference. The Raptors are 39-16 second. Third are the Celtics at 35-19, along with the Pacers at fourth. 76ers at 34-20 in fifth. Nets are 28-27, tied with the seventh are the Hornets, 26-27. The Heat are 25-27. Ninth are the Pistons at 29-28 or 24-29. Wizards are 10th, 22-31. John Wall's out for another 12 months, fractured Achilles. Prayers for him. 22-32 are the Magic. The Hawks are 18-35 in 11th. The Bulls are 12-41. Cavs are 11-43, and the Knicks traded Kristaps Porzingis to the Mavericks. That was a big deal last week. 10-43. The Western Conference, the Warriors are 37-15 in first. Second are the Nuggets, 37-16. Thunder are 34-19 in third. Blazers are 32-21 fourth. Rockets are 32-22 in fifth. Spurs are 32-23 in sixth. The Jazz are 30-24 in seventh. Clippers are 30-25 in eighth. Kings are 28-25 in ninth. The Lakers are disappointing with LeBron even. They lost by 42 the other day. 27-27 in 10th. Timberwolves are 25-28 in 11th. Mavericks got things spiced up 24-28 with getting Kristaps Porzingis. They're 12th. Pelicans are 23-31 in 13th. Grizzlies are 22-33. And the Suns are 11-44. The matchups for the night for the NBA. Let's see here. Nuggets are at the Nets at 7:30. Pelicans are at the Bulls at 8. Wizards are at the Bucks at 8 on ESPN. Hornets are at the Mavericks at 8:30. Suns at the Jazz at 9. Rockets at the Kings at 10. And Spurs at the Warriors at 10:30 on ESPN. Those are the matchups for there. The NHL, looking at the standings here. In first in the Atlantic Conference, the Lightning are 39-11 in first. The Maple Leafs are 32-17 in second. Canadiens are 30-18 in third. Bruins are 29-17 in fourth. Sabres are 26-20 in fifth. Panthers are 21-22 in sixth. Red Wings are 21-25 in seventh. Senators are 19-28 in eighth. In the Metropolitan, the Islanders are 30-16 in first, surprisingly for them. Capitals are 29-18 in second. Penguins are 28-19 in third. Blue Jackets are 29-20 in fourth. Hurricanes are 26-21 in fifth. Flyers are 24-23 in sixth. Rangers are 22-22 in seventh. And 20-25 in last are the Devils. In the Central for the Western Conference, the Jets are 34-16 in first. The Predators 32-19 in second. Stars are 28-21 in third. Wild are 26-22 in fourth. Blues are 24-22 in fifth. Avalanche are 22-22 in sixth. Blackhawks are 21-24 in seventh and last. And the Pacific, the Flames are 34-14 in first. The Sharks are 31-16 in second. The Knights are 30-21 in third. Canucks are 24-22 in fourth. Coyotes are 23-25 in fifth. Oilers are 23-25 in sixth. The Ducks are 21-24 in seventh. And the Knights are 22-27 in eighth. Let's see the MMA stuff for this week. I think it's like UFC 234 for Robert Whittaker, Kevin Gallstrom are fighting. Also, Silva and Jones, I think, are going to fight. Let's see here. For the... I gotta look up the fights this week. We'll look it up later. Those are the big fights this week on pay-per-view. ESPN's got it too. Let's see here. Silva and Asa. Let's see here. Simon and Yala. Kasim and Durasa. Alvi and Crute. This is the matchups fights for Saturday. Ma and Smith. Annette and Young. Let's see. Ravia and France. Kang and Austria. Japanese. Rosa and Venata. Turner and Potter. And Martinez and Barron. I think those are the matchups. Let's see, I'm looking at the divisional rankings here just for curiosity. Dang, that girl's got kicks. Man, oh man, that's a big one. Let's see here. I'm just looking for fun. Oh man. Oh, sorry, there's something in my throat here. And that's about it. Let's see here. For the ESPN, Rob Gronkowski could retire. I'm looking at the matchups actually for next year. The key matchups for the NFL. I know the weeks aren't out yet. I know the Bears and Raiders, they're going to play. Bengals and Rams are going to play. The Panthers and Buccaneers will play in London, and the Texans and Jags. Those are the only matchups announced. I hear the Packers and Bears might open up next year for the NFL 100 for next year. Those are rumors for right now. Oh, also the Chiefs and Chargers are playing in Mexico City. Those are big rumors. I'm looking at all these playoff, or well, if my internet loads here, but I'm thinking here good matchups for next year. Chiefs Patriots are playing again. Seahawks are at the Patriots. That's an interesting one. They're both playoff teams. Patriots are at the. Oh wait, no. I don't think the Seahawks are at the Patriots next year. No, I don't think so. I got to double check with that. My internet's loading really slowly today. www.google.com. I know the Colts are at the Saints and the Chiefs and the Chargers. Those are big playoff matchups for next year for the Colts that they play. I'm looking at teams that play against each other, like and for the playoffs that happen. Looking at NFL 2019. Let's see here. I'm looking for here we go. Team schedule 2019 for key matchups. I'm looking at the Patriots. Let's see here. Ooh, Patriots are at the Ravens next year to open up, or not to open up. They're at the Ravens. They're at the Texans. Those are playoff matchups, key matchups. Teams that come to New England. Actually, it's Dallas. The Giants come to New England. The Steelers come to New England. The Chiefs do. Patriots go play at the Eagles and the Redskins too. Those are key matchups for them. For the Bills, key matchups for them. All the division opponents: Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. The Ravens go there. The Bengals go there. They host the Eagles and Redskins and Broncos. They're at the Browns, at the Cowboys, at the Patriots, at the Giants, at the Dolphins, at the Steelers, at the Titans. I'm just going to go over the whole matchups for right now. The Bills, their home teams are the Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Ravens, Bengals, Eagles, Redskins, Broncos. Their away team, they're at the Browns, Cowboys, Dolphins, Patriots, Giants, Jets, Steelers, and Titans. For the Dolphins next year, all the teams they play, they're at the Bills, at the Browns, at the Cowboys, at the Colts. They host the Bills, host the Patriots, host the Jets, host the Ravens, host the Bengals, host the Eagles, Redskins. They're at the Patriots, Giants, Jets, Steelers, and they host the Chargers next year. The Jets schedule, the page isn't working. Looks like I'm having some technical difficulties. Patriots at the Ravens, at the Bills, Bengals, Texans, Dolphins. They host the Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Browns, Steelers, Cowboys, Giants. They're at Chiefs. They're at the Jets, Eagles, and Redskins. And the Jets for next year, they got Adam Gase. My page is slowly not working. Let's see here. Hopefully it does. Reload. Well, we'll go over the Ravens one. My Jets one's not loading. The Ravens, they host the Bengals, Browns, Steelers, Patriots, Jets, Cardinals, 49ers, Texans. They're at the Bills, Bengals, Browns, Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, Steelers, and Seahawks. The Bengals for next year, they're at the Ravens, Bills. They host the Ravens, Browns, Steelers, Patriots, Jets, Cardinals, 49ers, Jaguars. They're at the Browns, Rams in London, at the Dolphins, Raiders, Steelers, and Redskins next year. The Browns, for Baker Mayfield, they're at the Ravens, Bengals. They host the Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Bills, Dolphins, Rams, Seahawks, Titans. They're at the Broncos, at the Patriots, at the Jets, at the Steelers, at the 49ers, at the Cardinals for next year. The Steelers next year, interesting team next year. If they trade Antonio Brown away and they play him next year. They're at the Ravens, at the Bengals, Browns, Patriots, Jets. They host the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Bills, Dolphins, Rams, Seahawks, Colts, at the Niners, at the Cardinals, and at the Chargers next year. For the AFC South, we're still not done yet. Houston's at Baltimore. They host the Colts, Jaguars, Titans, Broncos, Raiders, Falcons, Panthers, Patriots. They're at the Colts, Chiefs, Saints, Buccaneers, Titans, Jaguars, and Chargers. The Colts have the same schedule as the Texans, my bad. Colts are at the Texans. They host Texans, Jaguars, Titans, Broncos, Raiders, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins. They're at the Chiefs, Saints, Steelers, Buccaneers, Titans, Jaguars, and Chargers. That's a tough road stretch. The Jaguars next year have a game in London against the Texans. They're at the Falcons, Panthers, Bengals, Broncos, Texans, Colts, Raiders, Titans. The Colts, Titans, Chiefs, Chargers, Saints, Buccaneers, Jets. Those are all for next year. The Titans next year for the South, they're at the Falcons, Panthers, Browns, Broncos, Texans, Colts, Raiders. They host the Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Chiefs, Chargers, Saints, Buccaneers, Bills at the Jaguars. The Broncos for the AFC West, they're at the Bills. They host the Chiefs, Raiders, Jaguars, Titans, Bears, Lions, Browns at the Packers, at the Texans, at the Colts, Chiefs, Vikings, Raiders, and Chargers. The Chiefs for next year, Mahomes, they're at the Bears, at the Broncos, at the Lions. They host the Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Texans, Colts, Packers, Vikings, Ravens, at the Patriots, at the Raiders, at the Titans, at the Jaguars, and at the Chargers for next year. The Chargers next year, they're a playoff team. They're at the Bears, Broncos, Lions, Chiefs, Raiders, Titans, Dolphins, Jaguars. They play the Broncos, the Chiefs in Mexico City, the Raiders, Texans, Colts, Packers, Vikings, and Steelers all next year. And the Raiders, we don't know where they're playing: San Fran, Oakland, Las Vegas in a few years. At the Broncos, Packers, Texans, Colts, Chiefs, Vikings, Jets. So teams at the code of San Francisco would be the Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Jaguars, Titans, Lions, Bengals, and at the Chargers. But they go to play the Bears in London next year. The NFC East, the Cowboys are at the Bears. They host the Giants, Eagles, Redskins, Packers, Vikings, Bills, Dolphins, Rams, at the Lions, at the Patriots, at the Saints, at the Giants, at the Jets, at the Eagles, at the Redskins. The Giants next year. Oh, the page isn't working for the Giants for some reason either. So the Giants and Jets, we'll get to them later. I don't know why that's not loading for them. The Eagles are at the Falcons, at the Bills, at the Cowboys, at the Packers, at the Dolphins, at the Vikings, Giants, Cowboys, Giants, Redskins, Bears, Lions, Patriots, Jets, Seahawks. They're at the Redskins next year. Those are the Eagles' schedule for next year. The Redskins for the East, if they have a veteran quarterback, they're at the Bills, Panthers, Cowboys, Packers, Dolphins, Vikings, Giants, Eagles. They host the Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Bears, Lions, Patriots, Jets, and 49ers. The Bears' schedule for next year, they're playing the Raiders in London next year. They host the Lions, Packers, Vikings, Cowboys, Giants, Chiefs, Chargers, Saints. They're at the Broncos, at the Lions, Packers, at the Rams, Vikings, Raiders, at the Eagles, and at the Redskins. Bears Eagles is a good one. So is the Bears Rams. The Lions next year, they're at the Bears, at the Broncos. They host the Bears, Packers, Vikings, Cowboys, Giants, Chiefs, Chargers, Buccaneers. They're at the Packers, Vikings, Raiders, Eagles, Redskins, and Cardinals. The Packers schedule for LaFleur next year at the Bears, at the Cowboys, at the Lions, host the Bears, Lions, Vikings, Eagles, Redskins, Broncos, Raiders, Panthers, Chiefs, Vikings, Giants, 49ers, and Chargers for next year. The Vikings road are the schedule at the Bears, at the Cowboys, Lions, Packers, Chiefs. They host the Bears, Lions, Packers, Eagles, Redskins, Broncos, Raiders, Falcons, at the Giants, at the Seahawks, and at the Chargers. And the South, 8 more teams, guys, stay up with me. Falcons host the Panthers, Saints, Buccaneers, Rams, Seahawks, Jaguars, Titans, Eagles. They're at the Panthers, at the Texans, Colts, Vikings, Saints, 49ers, Buccaneers, and Cardinals. The Panthers, if they didn't have Newton next year, we'll see. At the Falcons, host the Falcons, Saints, Buccaneers, Rams, Seahawks, Jaguars, Titans, Redskins. They're at the Panthers, or at the Packers, Texans, Colts, Saints, 49ers, Buccaneers, and Cardinals. The Saints schedule for next year, I'm interested in them. They're at the Falcons, Panthers, they're at the Bears next year, at the Rams. Ooh, that's a good one. Falcons, Panthers, Buccaneers, Cardinals, 49ers, Texans, and Colts. Cowboys, those are the interesting teams that come there next year at the Seahawks, Buccaneers, Titans, and Jaguars. I like the Texans, Colts, and Cowboys going there. I think the Bears play there too. I like their home schedule. The Buccaneers with Arians, they're at the Falcons, Panthers, Lions, Rams, Saints, Seahawks. They host the Falcons. They play the Panthers in London. Saints, Cardinals, 49ers, Texans, Colts. Giants at the Titans, at the Jaguars. The last 14, I couldn't get the Jets and Giants schedule open up. Cardinals are at the Ravens, Bengals, Rams, Saints, Giants, 49ers, Seahawks, Buccaneers. They host the Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Falcons, Panthers, Browns, Steelers, and the Lions. The Rams schedule for next year, the Super Bowl losers at the Falcons, at the Panthers, at the Browns, at the Cowboys, rematch for the playoffs. Cardinals, 49ers, Seahawks, Saints, another playoff rematch. Buccaneers, Ravens, Bengals, they host in London. Bears are at the Steelers, at the 49ers, at the Seahawks, and at the Cardinals. 49ers schedule. Yeah, Brown, man. They're at the Ravens, at the Bengals, at the Rams, at the Saints, Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, Falcons, Panthers, Browns, Steelers, Packers, Seahawks, and Buccaneers. That should be a Monday night matchup if the 49ers host the Steelers again. That should be a Monday night one next year. Shows us the Colts, Buccaneers. Seahawks next year, they're at the Falcons, at the Panthers, Browns, Rams, Eagles, Steelers, 49ers, Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Saints go there, Buccaneers, Ravens, Bengals, Vikings at the Cardinals. And that should be it for the NFL for the next year. Those are the matchups. I couldn't get the Jets and Giants to load. But thanks for listening. We'll have a Monday one next week because next week I'll be at basketball events Tuesday through Thursday at Western. So we'll do it this Monday. I'm going to say like 5 o'clock or so, maybe earlier than that.